So guys, in this video we are going to install Python on our Windows operating system. In Kali Linux or in Ubuntu or any other Linux based distributions, the Python comes by default, so you don't need to install. But if someone want to code in Windows, then you need to install this, because Windows does not have Python by default. And all you need to do is you type in Google the Python and you will get this website called python.org. This is the official website, and here you can download the installer and click on this download and download for Windows. And I'm not sure about this Python 3.9. Okay, let's go ahead and download this one. So if in your Linux distribution this Python does not install, then you need to type sudo apt install python 3. So my binary has been downloaded. Let's click on this and now click on run. And now you need. So in this video we are going to install this Visual Studio Code, and this is the text editor like Sublime Text or Atom, and we can edit our Python code and we can execute our Python scripts. In Google, type the VS Code, and the first website is code.visualstudio.com. click on this, and there is also a IDE that is Visual Studio. That is a very big IDE, but we are just using the Python, that's why Visual Studio Code is enough. And you need to click on this download for Windows and then download this and run as we run the Python installer. Like in the same way you run this one. I will leave this to your exercise, installing this Visual Studio Code. Now after installation you will get the screen like this, and all you want to do is you need to modify some settings. Click on the settings and go to this settings. So guys, in this video we are going to talk about this Python variables. So first let me define what a variable is. A variable is a memory location in the computer memory which holds the value of a number or any string. So it holds some values so that you can just use that value again in your code. So again, first let me show you a scenario why we need the variables. So we all know 22 divided by 7, right? That is the pi. So this is the division operator, and if you type 22 by 7 and hit enter, you will get the value of this pi. So what I can do is I can just say pi is equals to 22 by. So guys, in this video we are going to see what are the operators and what are the operations we can perform using those operators. So let's say a is equals to 10, b is equals to 5. So these two are the variables. A is equals to 10, b is equals to 5. Now what I am going to do is I want to say c is equals to a plus b. So now I can run this program, but we are not outputting any content. So let me say print of c. So now let me okay, autosave is on. Now let me run this. So guys, in this video we are going to take a look on the strings. So we have already seen the strings in the variables video. Let's say s is equals to Nikhil. So now if I type of s, you will get the string type. So you can access these particular alphabets in the string using this index. So all you need to do is s of, you need to put the square brackets and you need to define the index number, that is 0. The first one is 0. If you type s of 0, you will get the n, and this one I is the index 1, index 2, index 3, 4 and 5. So as in the computers, everything starts with 0. That's why it's like an array, and this will also starts with 0. So guys, in this video we are going to discuss a topic called user input. So we have seen previous examples. A is equals to 10, but what if user wants to enter the number what he wants? So if I want to say 100, I cannot simply change the 100 every time in the script. So that will be some time consuming task, right? So what you can do is you can say a is equals to input of. So whenever you define this input function, then the Python interpreter will ask for input, and then it will store in this a. So now let's print a. Now let's run the script. So here my Python script is waiting for my input. So it seems like it has been struck, but it's not. It's So guys, in this video we are going to take a look at this list. So these lists are denoted by square brackets, and these are used to store some elements in that list. So these are used to store some elements like subject marks or groceries or some kind of things that come in one particular category, or you can also store different categories. So if you want to say store books, you can define books is equals to and the available books in the market or in your store. So this is just helpful for long items, and if you have more than 10 or 20 items, you can just prepare one list and you can refer to the same category. And to define the elements in the list, what I want to do is I want to say 1, and I need to put the comma between the elements 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So guys, in this video we are going to talk about these tuples. These are exactly same like this, but once you define a tuple, you cannot change the contents or the elements of this tuple. So this is like read only tuple, you cannot change the values of the tuple. So this is the list we have seen in the previous video. All you have to do is you need to put the normal brackets, open and close brackets. So this is the tuple. Now I can just print the type of this one. So if I run this, you will see the class tuple, and there are some normal functions. It says the length of this tuple, which is 8. Okay, but we cannot update this tuple. Let's see. So guys, in this video we are going to talk about these tuples. These are exactly same like this, but once you define a tuple, you cannot change the contents or the elements of this tuple. So this is like read only tuple, you cannot change the values of the tuple. So this is the list we have seen in the previous video. All you have to do is you need to put the normal brackets, open and close brackets. So this is the tuple. Now I can just print the type of this one. So if I run this, you will see the class tuple, and there are some normal functions. It says the length of this tuple, which is 8. Okay, but we cannot update this tuple. Let's see if we can perform some operations that we perform on the list, like append of 8. So now let me run this. So guys, in this video we are going to talk about these loops. First we will discuss how to print 1 to 100 numbers. So you're going to say print 1 and then print 2, and so on. You need to type up to 100. So this is very time consuming and it's a waste. So what you can do is you can loop over these 1 to 100 numbers using these loops. So first loop I am going to say is for loop. The syntax is for iterator. You need to specify one element that will loop over from 1 to 100 numbers. In the first loop it will take the value of first element, and then in the second time it will take the value of second element, and third time third element, and so on. You need to say in stands for membership operator, and what you want to do is you want to specify the range of 0 to 100. So what I'm going to do is I will create a range of numbers, and I will say for I in this range. Alright, in this video we are going to look at these dictionaries. So these dictionaries are like key value based pairs, and you will have a key and a value assigned to that key. We can identify the value using the key. So it's used for like username and the password and the hash, etc. So if you want to bind two pairs of values, you can use that, like first name and the value and the last name and the value. So we are going to make, say, dict is equals to, and this dictionary is represented by open braces and closed braces. And first you need to say a key, that is first name, and you need to specify colon, and you need to specify the value. Let's say my name is, first name is Naga, and I want to add another key value pair. I want to put the colon, comma, and then let's say last name. So guys, in this video we are going to see the file input output. That means we will create the files and we will read the content from the files and we will write the content to the files. So first we will say file descriptor. So this will be like object to the file we specify, and generally this is called file descriptor, and it holds some value for this opening the file. You need to say open of. So you need to open a file, and let's say the file is this flag.txt and it says flag congratulations. We are going to click on the properties and get the path. Let me copy the path. Now I need to paste this path. So you need to put the backward slash so that there will be no special characters, and you need to say in what mode you want to open the file. If I say read mode, R for read, then we can only read the contents from the file. So for now we will see only read mode, and let's say contents is equal to video. We are going to see what are the Python functions. So let me tell you an example. Suppose you have 100 lines of code to calculate the area of something, and you want to repeat it for 5 times. So you cannot copy paste those 100 lines of code 5 times to calculate some value. So what you're going to do is you are going to write a function. It will do the calculations for you and it will return some result to you. So if you want to call it 10 times, you don't need to copy paste those 100 lines of code 10 times. You can just simply call this function 10 times and you will get the 10 values. So this is very simple. So let's get started. So now let's say function, we need to define the function. So you need to use the def. So define the function name. Let's say calculate underscore area. So this is my function name I want to give. So I want to put the open brackets and I need to pass some arguments. So guys, alright, now we are going to learn about this object oriented programming. Even though if you do not practice this object oriented programming, you need to know how it works, because many exploits will contain some object oriented programming code. So in that way you need to understand that what are the functions in it, how to change some parameters and etc., and how to change the variables also. So these classes are like blueprint of some data, or like template of any members and the functions combined. Suppose if I have a college and college contains some metadata like a number of buildings and number of benches and number of computers, number of fans, etc. So that is like a metadata or the blueprint of that class. So objects are like instances of that class. So a student is a object of the class, right? A class contains so many members and the class contains some properties like number of students and number of working days, etc. So for that class there are some objects. In here we use the students as an object, and this student contains some information like his first name, last name, and his attendance and his mark list, etc. So now let's go ahead and define a class, that is the student class. the class defines. So guys, in this video we are going to see about this pip python package installer, and it's a pip pip, and you will get some of these options. And this pip is like a package installer like you have seen from the Ubuntu's app, but this pip is only for Python modules. So you can import some modules into the Python which we have defined already, predefined methods and the functions, and that you can install those modules using this pip. You can see pip installed. You can install packages, download packages, uninstall, list, show, and there are so many options as well. You can also search the packages. And what I'm going to do is, let me clear the screen, and then let's say pip list. So this will list all the packages that are installed on my computer, and also those supports Python one. You can see this pilot, this has been installed from the my Visual Studio Code. If you have seen the Visual Studio setup video, so whenever I am operating this Python, then it alright. Now let's run network programming with Python sockets. In this we will learn about this sockets introduction, and we will also build some small tools related to this network pen testing with Python. So let's get started. So these sockets are building blocks for network programming. So any high level modules will be using these sockets, and socket is a pair of IP address and the port number. So IP address is a unique address that defines a computer that identifies a computer in this network, in any network, and the port number is a logical port on which the service runs on. So this combination can be treated as a socket, and these work on the transport layer of this OSI model. So these sockets establish the connection to this IP address and the port, and defines this how this transport can be taken, either TCP or UDP. And we can communicate with the network applications using sockets. This is the main important thing with sockets. We can communicate with. So guys, in this video we're going to talk about this debugging the program. So if you have like hundreds and 200 lines of code, if you want to check out the variables content, you just use the print of say a, and then you will print the variables content, and you will see whether the program flow is going correctly or not. That's a basic way of determining any errors. And actually it's very tough when you have long code like 300-400 lines of code and 1000 lines of code, and in that way if you have those many lines of code and you just putting the print statements everywhere is very bad, and it's also time consuming and it's a waste. So that's why we need to debug the program. So what this debugging mean is, you can stop the program at certain point, and you can inspect the contents up to that point, and then you can step through the program code one instruction per at a time. So now we are going to do this. Now click on this. Here there is a play symbol and it has a insect symbol, that is the bug, and this is the debugger. And if you click on this, sidebar will open, and click on this run and debug, and it will ask to what to debug the file. So we need to specify this Python file, currently active Python file. Click on this one, and you can see that. So guys, in this video we are going to talk about this Python modules, and you can see in normal other Python scripts they say some modules, we are going to use these modules, we are importing these modules, etc. So now we are going to see that one. So first thing I want to do is, I will just add some functions. Let's say define add, and I will say a comma b, and I will just return this a plus b value. So now this is my source.py, and I can write all the mathematical or any other function I want to write in this source.py. So I can also write this diff sub and a comma b, and return this actual subtraction, return a minus b. So what the help of these modules is, you can import these functions in your own Python script. you can see there are two functions in this source.py, addition and subtraction, and you can also write so many functions as well. So if you want, so guys, in this video we're going to see the exception handling in Python. So there are some few exceptions you need to handle. Suppose say division by 0. So let's go ahead and say temp is equals to 2 divided by 0. So now let's execute this one. So it says 0 division error, division by 0. So now let's say print of high. So you can see we got the 0 division error, and this print statement did not execute. So whenever there is an exception in Python or in any language, the program stops at that point. So you need to handle that exception and pass through that exception to execute your own code. So what you're gonna do is you want to say try, and you need to put the indentation. We'll do this one and try. Let's say temp is equals to 2 by 0.